So, you should have already listened to my read aloud of How to Eat a Guava by Esmeralda Santiago. And now we're going to move forward to sensory details and think about the sensory details that she included in that personal narrative. So, first, I have some questions that I want you to think about. Number one, what word do you see when you look at the word sensory? So, in this word sensory, there's another word within it. And that word is the word sense. So you've probably heard of the word sense or five senses. And now I want you to think about, well, what are those five senses? They are taste, touch, smell, sight, and hearing. So the narrator in the story was really describing this guava. And when she used a ton of sensory details. So we're thinking about how the guava sounded, maybe how it sounded when she ate it. How was she describing it to us? We're thinking about how this guava tasted. What did she say the guava looked like? What did she say the guava sounded like? And lastly, what did this guava feel like in her hands? So again, these five senses were used to describe this guava, and that's what I want us to pick up on and be able to take from the story. So let's look at this first paragraph together. I'm going to read through the paragraph and then I am going to go back and think about the sensory details within it. Oops, I forgot to delete one. So it says, there are guavas at the shop and save. I pick one the size of a tennis ball and finger the prickly stem end. It feels familiarly bumpy and firm. The guava is not quite ripe. The skin is still a dark green. I smell it and imagine a pale pink center, the seeds tightly embedded in the flesh. So from the very beginning, we're able to pick up on those sensory details. She says there are guavas at the shop and save. I pick one the size of a tennis ball. We already know what this guava looks like. It's the size of a tennis ball. And finger the prickly stem end. So we know when she touches it, it's prickly, kind of like a cactus or maybe a porcupine. That's how this guava feels on the outside. She says it also feels familiarly bumpy and firm. Guava is bumpy, it's firm, and it feels familiar, like something she's touched time and time again. The guava is not quite ripe. The skin is still a dark green. So we know when she bites into this guava, it's going to taste like it's not ripe. Have you ever had maybe a peach or a mango and it wasn't ripe yet, it's still kind of hard, tasted kind of sour? That's how this guava tastes. It's not ready to be eaten. It's not sweet and soft and everything that you imagine when you think about those kinds of fruit. So we know the taste is going to be that sour taste because it's not ripe. And she also says the skin is still a dark green. So again, she's describing what this guava looks like. It's dark green skin. It says, I smell it and imagine a pale pink center. So we know that it has a pale pink center. Again, she's describing how it looks. And she's telling us she smelled it, but she didn't really describe the smell. So maybe she'll tell us what it smelled like a little bit later, and we'll be able to add that to our sensory details chart. It says the seeds tightly embedded in the flesh. Tightly embedded seeds. So the word embedded just means that they're stuck in there really good. And we know that they're tight, like she said. So she really focused on the sight, what this guava looked like and what this guava felt like. And then she kind of told us what it tasted like, but not really. But we haven't gotten to what it sounds like. We haven't gotten to what it smells like. And so I'm hoping to get more from that. So for your assignment, y'all are going to do exactly what I just did. You are going to go back through How to Eat a Guava, which is in a folder on the Google Classroom, and you are going to pick out those sensory details. What did it look like? Because she continued to describe it. What did it smell like, taste like, sound like, and feel like? And y'all in a discussion board are just going to post the sensory details that you were able to take from the text. All right? Let's make it work.